Hello everyone and welcome back to Scandinavian Design 101. I'm Sanna.
I'm Andreas and we're two Swedes and we love design.
We do, and in today's video we're gonna indulge ourselves in luxury by exploring the top 7 highest hammer prices for a modern piece of furniture ever sold at auction around the world. Traditionally, art has dominated these most expensive lists, but modern furniture is appearing more and more.
Yeah.
I'm personally very fascinated by the sums of money people are willing to pay for these pieces. Even though they are exclusive and one of a kind, it's kind of mind-blowing to me, actually. Så, hej! Many of you might already know some of the furniture on this list, especially the most expensive one, but I hope you can enjoy this video even if you do.
Yeah, and of course we're gonna start with number 7 to make it more exciting.
Yeah, it would be very anticlimactic.
start with number 1 and then, and number 7. Here we find a folding screen by Eileen Gray named Brick, made back in 1925, almost 100 years ago.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy when you think about it, because then it's actually an antique piece of furniture. It's very elegant and strictly modern with its geometric design. And Gray designed this particular screen for her lover's apartment in Paris, the Romanian architect Jean Badovici. Yeah. It's made from 44 black lacquered wooden bricks, or panels, and that's held together by thin steel rods and brass spacers and end caps. The lacquering was made by hand, with each layer needed time to dry and then sanded and polished. So this was a time-consuming process and it took several weeks to finish. Yeah. And less than 10 brick screens were ever made, and therefore it's very, very, very sought after. And this one was sold at Philips in 2016 for $1,940,800
Yeah. At number 6, we have Isamu Noguchi unique table made from fossil marble in 1948-49. The first of 2 Noguchi tables which are on this list, actually. According to Noguchi, everything is sculpture. Any material, any idea without hindrance born into space, I consider sculpture. Noguchi was a very experimental and versatile designer. He was a sculptor and ceramicist, architect, furniture and lighting, and garden designer, and more. This table was a private design commission, and it stayed in the family's home until 2012, when it was sold at Christie's in New York for $2,882,500.
Yeah, that's also a lot of money. And number 5. That's Mark Newson's Lockheed lounge, designed in 1990. And it's very postmodern and futuristic looking. And Newson is Australian, and the lounge is sculptured from a foam surfboard. And coincidence? No, not really. It was then casted in fiberglass and then covered in hand-hammered aluminum sheets. And of course, this was also a lot of work. Yeah. And it was named after an American aircraft manufacturer, and its shape is said to resemble an airplane, but I'm not really sure if I agree.
I don't think so.
No, not really. But however, it was sold at Philips in 2015 for $3,185,230
Ish.
It's
a bit difficult with this.
Yeah, it depends on the currencies and so on.
Now and then. And
yeah. But approximately, just over 3 million.
Yeah. Number 4 is the weird-looking chaise lounge Zätterqvist. I really don't know how to pronounce French. Well, it was made by French designer Emil Jacques Rohlmann. Yeah. Made in 2000?
No.
1929.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Apparently, it's designed to be weightlessly comfortable. It has 4 buttons that let the sitter adjust the position, which was very high-tech back then.
Yeah.
The seat and backrest is covered in brown velvet, and it stands on a pair of skis, which forms the legs.
Yeah.
A very interesting idea, and kind of ugly, I think.
Yeah, it's strange looking.
Very strange.
But it doesn't look like something from the 1920s.
No,
So
no.
Yeah.
It was most likely commissioned by the Maharaja of Indore. This was sold at Christie's in Paris in 2011 for approximately 3 million as well, a bit more.
Yeah.
Than
The other one.
Yeah. It has been sold once again after this for almost 1 million less.
Okay.
But it still
deserves
to be on the list.
Yes. And now to number 3, where we find this other Isamu Noguchi piece. It's the Goodyear table, designed in 1939. Commissioned by the president of MoMA, A.C. Goodyear, this piece of furniture was Noguchi's first ever table and the start of his famous table designs.
Yeah.
Noguchi started his collaboration with Herman Miller in 1947, 3 years after he designed his most famous coffee table. It was reissued in 1984 and is still in production today, and I'm sure you all seen it. The Goodyear table was made from stack laminated rosewood and glass and was sold at Philips in 2014 for $4,450,500
Yeah. His first ever table. Though.
Yeah, and rosewood and yeah.
Rosewood is not that expensive.
Yes, it is.
Well, at number 2, we find a beautiful, unique cabinet by Jean-Michel Frank, designed in 1935. Frank managed to combine Art Deco and minimalism in this piece made from patinated bronze and gypsum panels. Gypsum is a mineral that becomes flaky and crystalline-like when absorbed by salt water. In this cabinet, it looks a lot like mother of pearl or ivory.
Yeah, it does.
Frank experimented with the new materials like many others at the time and achieved the less is more aesthetic. It was loved by the crowd when it was first exhibited in 1936, and I understand why.
Yeah.
It was sold at Sotheby's in Paris, also in 2014. And this is a bit problematic, because this number is lower than the previous one.
Yeah.
Because of the currency.
Yeah, because it was sold in euros and now, yeah.
So,
but in today's currency, it is a bit less than the previous one.
Well, we don't have the currencies for 2014. So now it's worth $4,030,550.
US dollars.
US dollars, yes.
So it's a bit less, but it's still more than $4 million.
Yes, but it's absurd.
To have a list with a less, yeah. No matter what. And now finally the number 1. And this is no discussion. This is the most expensive piece ever sold. The most expensive modern furniture ever sold at auction.
Yeah.
It's Eileen Gray's Dragon Chair, made between 1917 and 1919. So it's all of these, most of these are very old pieces, even though they are considered modern furniture. And the chair is relatively small, only 61 centimeters high and 91 centimeters wide. And it has a sculpted wooden frame in the shape of course, 2 dragons with their heads as armrests.
Yeah.
It's lacquered in orange, brown and silver, and originally it was upholstered in a pale beige fabric with lines. In one old picture, it looks white, and when it was sold, it was reupholstered in leather, so it's a bit confusing.
Yeah.
And she designed it for Juliette Mathieu-Levy, or Suzanne Talbot, as she is also known as, who was Gray's first patron. The chair was later owned by the fashion designer Yves Saint Laurent, and it was auctioned from his collection.
Yeah.
And he was a big fan, of course, of Gray's work. In 2009, it was sold at Christie's in Paris for $28,238,277 US.
Yeah.
And the winner was actually a Paris gallery called Robert and Cheska Valois. So yeah, a gallery bought this share for $28 million.
$28 million.
And yeah, it is a lot of money. But as you said in the beginning of this episode, we have gotten used to paintings being sold for a lot of money. And it's actually no difference, because this share is a piece of art. And a painting by Chagall or something is also a piece of art. So it should cost a lot of money. And it's not normal people buying it. It's investments and collectors and the museums.
Of course
so
it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
But it's a giant leap from the second to the first.
Yeah, it's a giant leap. And I'm not sure exactly why this share, because she made other items too. That's also one of a kind, and they are not nearly as expensive.
It's because it's dragons.
It's dragons, yeah. Perhaps they had a Chinese buyer, some rich Chinese buying it. I'm not sure, but perhaps. Yeah, and this was our episode about expensive knockdowns on auction. And if you like this episode,
please click thumbs up and subscribe.
And follow us on Instagram. We are called Scandinavian Design 101.
Yes, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.